Hey guys, Steve here with Steve's Guns. Today we're going to talk about what caliber is good for home defense. Over here we have around 5 guns, different calibers. 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum, 45 ACP, 9mm, 38 Special, 50 AE. Okay. The two obvious that I would not recommend for home defense because of the recoil of the gun, the weight of the gun, is these two here, a 500 Magnum or a 50 AE. That's a 500 Magnum. This thing is the size of a shotgun bullet. The recoil on this guy is absolutely insane, especially if you're in a situation you're scared. If you get a bad grip on this thing and shoot once, this thing's gonna go flying out of your hand, or you can even hurt yourself by hitting yourself with the gun. So this guy here, I'm gonna say absolutely not. This guy here, same situation. Recoil is not as bad, but it is bad. But it is a heavy, bulky, big gun. So I'm gonna say no to this guy here. Let's just get these out of the way. Just wanted to show you what it is. The most common ones are probably here, and I'm just gonna add a shotgun shell because that's what a lot of people use too. So let's go with the biggest to smallest. Biggest one you have is a 12 gauge shotgun. Okay, as you know, that's going to be rifle length. It's going to be pretty big. Recoil, it does have recoil, okay, but it is not as bad as a 500 Magnum. You can control it even if you're a first time shooter, or if you're a small framed person, even a woman. I don't want to sound sexist, but the smaller the person, the bigger the gun, the harder it is to control that recoil. So shotgun's gonna have a lot of recoil, but the cool thing about the shotgun is you can have different variety of ammunition: slugs, buckshot, birdshot, and other ones. Buckshot is probably your best bet for home defense because you have like 8 BBs or 10 BBs, whatever the size it is, inside of one bullet, and you get a nice spread. So if the guy's standing here, okay, and you aim here, let's say, because of that spread, you're probably going to hit more on target with a shotgun shell rather than these guys. These guys you have to be extremely accurate to even hit because it's only one bullet. Depending on the situation, shotgun is, I think, up there as home defense goes. But some people don't like the size of them and the weight of them, so they go with handguns like these. Second is a 45 ACP. This guy here is a CZ97B. This guy is a 45 ACP. It holds 10 rounds. Full metal frame. Okay. Recoil, not bad at all. It's a heavy gun, full metal frame, so that weight eats up a lot of the recoil. 45 does have very good stopping power. You just don't have penetration power. So that's a 45 ACP. This is a hollow point compared to a 9mm. You can see the size difference. It's like twice the size. Okay, but penetration power, stopping power, 45 is your best bet. You hit them once, they're going straight down. There's no walking away from it. Okay. Your magazines are most likely going to hold less than a 9mm because of the bigger round. So you're probably be playing with anywhere from like 10 to 15 max, let's say, on a 45, depending on the gun. If you go something as a 9mm, like this guy here, this is HKP 2000, fantastic gun. As you can see, this guy's been pimped out a little bit. You have flat trigger, springs have been changed, extra grips, flashlight, laser combo, which is going to help in a self-defense scenario, especially nighttime. The lights are off. You have some visibility with a light and laser. Laser is a must in my books. If you're in a high stake area, the situation's going down, you're hurt, you're bleeding, let's say, there's glass in your eyes, anything, that laser is going to help a lot, because all you have to do is have the laser on him, and that's where that round is going to go if you have it set up properly. Okay, so like I said, this is a 9mm hollow point. The thing with the 9mm is you're not going to have the stopping power as a 45, but it is a way faster bullet, so you're going to have the penetration power but not the stopping power. So if the dude's behind the door, drywall in the other room, the 9mm is going to penetrate more than, let's say, a 45 would penetrate. Okay, if you're an old school type of guy, you want to go with a revolver, 5-shot, 6-shot, some of them are even 8-shot, you go with, let's say, a 38 special. Okay, almost the same size as a 9mm projectile portion of it. You do have a larger casing. Okay, recoil is not bad, but like I said earlier, if the gun is heavy, less recoil. If the gun is small, like this Smith & Wesson Bodyguard, small and lightweight, and you're shooting that round out of it, you're gonna have pretty good recoil on this guy too. Okay, this guy does have a built-in laser. I don't know if you can see it. It's not as bright as the green, but it does have a built-in laser from the manufacturer. It's small, it's compact, you can have it in your pocket. If you go something with a larger barrel, you can hit at a further distance, but if you're something this small, you're not going to hit at a distance. It's going to be harder to hit somebody at a further distance because you're looking at like a 2-inch barrel, 1.5-inch barrel. Okay, me personally, I would honestly go with a 9mm. You get the larger capacity magazines, you get the speed of the bullet, you get the penetration of the bullet, stopping power is there. Don't get me wrong, you hit someone with a 9.2, they're gonna go down, but the guns are gonna be smaller, they're gonna be lighter because of that ammo. You're gonna have larger capacities because it's a smaller round and you can fit more into a magazine. So my personal preference for home defense, for me, is my P2000, which is right here. Okay, this is the one I keep next to me at all times. This is the one I keep in the car. I absolutely love this thing. This is a badass gun. Okay, so if you're in the market and you've never shot a gun before, you want to buy one to protect yourself, you don't know what to get, you're deciding between a 45, a 38, a shotgun, I would go with a 9mm. Okay, again, the recoil is not much, you can handle it. If your hands are wet, it's slippery, you're hurt, you can still manage a 9mm pretty good if you're in that situation. Okay, ammo's cheaper than this, ammo is cheaper than this. You can buy a box of 50 rounds of 9mm for around $14. 45, you're gonna be around $30. 38 special, around that $30-$40 mark, depending on your state too. So again, my preference, the winner in my choice, but my choice could be different from your choice. It doesn't mean you're wrong and I'm right. This is just to educate you and tell you that, hey, this gun acts this way, this gun acts this way, and this gun will act this way. From my experience, 9mm is probably the way to go. I don't have a 40 caliber, but a 40 is basically between a 45 and a 9mm, or you could go with a 10mm, which is like the same thing as a 40. So the 40 is going to give you more penetration, less recoil than a 45. It's going to be closer to a 9mm recoil, but it's going to be a bigger round than a 9mm. It's going to give you more stopping power. A lot of the law enforcement agencies, they were using 40s, and 9s is the way they go. That's the realm between law enforcement officers. Okay, Border Patrol was using this guy here a couple years ago in a 40 caliber. Again, you have the stopping power. Penetration's better than a 45, not as good as a 9mm, but it's that perfect medium between a 45 and a 9. Okay, I just don't have any 40s, so my personal favorite will be a 9mm. Especially if you're doing hollow points, you should be pretty good to go. Your neighbors will be safe too. Make sure you do hollow points for home defense. Full metal jackets, especially out of a 9, that thing's gonna go through walls pretty easily. Okay, next thing you know, you're gonna have a bullet hole at your neighbor's house. So instead of trying to shoot the bad guy, you might accidentally shoot your neighbor too. So always do hollow points. Hollow points expand on impact, which breaks the bullet apart and slows down the bullet. And that's what you want when you hit somebody. You don't want to go through him, or if you do miss, especially the house today's, it's all cheap drywall built, so that thing's gonna go through 6-7 layers of wall before it even wants to stop. Okay, so make sure hollow point. Okay, that's the video for today. The name is Steve with Steve's Guns, and we'll see you guys on the next.